though.
Oh, that's a new one.
Hashtag
Mix it up, yes. Isn't the hashtag a bit passé now?
the meme of hashtagging things out loud lives on, even if Twitter sucks. Anyway, next though.
Sorry, not a fan of black licorice, eh? Huh? I can assure you that it is as Yuri says, but everyone has their own tastes. Maybe I should ask Yuri to fill the snack basket with black licorice in the future. So I used to read a graphic novel series that is probably not well known nowadays called Bone, and in one book a character makes a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. As an impressionable kid, I made one and ate it. Surprisingly, it was not that bad. Well, not bad enough that it would stop me from making a second one. I should go and make one again to see if it still tastes good. So would you try one if you had the opportunity? I don't like pickles in general, but that's just me.
I suspect that if you fill the snack basket with only black licorice candy, Siri would develop enough of a taste for it.
Yeah, maybe. That's for the peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Yeah, I'll try anything once. I do like peanut butter and pickles. Both of them at once seems kind of weird, but you never know. Oh yeah.
MC, I'm uninformed of your knowledge of the Transformers franchise as of now. If you are into the series at all, what's your stance on which series is the best? Natsuki can answer too if she wants. I can't look at any of the live-action movies ever again except for Bumblebee since they took inspiration from the source with that one. G1 for life. Got a favorite obscure character while I'm asking about TF? Tracks and Warpath are up on my list probably just because I have figures of both of them. Yeah, we'll just forget about the movies. My favorite series is probably Robots in Disguise. I understand it kinda got the boot in the US, but it's kind of a neat self-contained canon which gets pretty heavy. But I think it's really cool. What about you, Nat?
I really like Cyberverse. I know it's kinda kiddie, but still think it's super cool. Let's see, my favorite obscure Transformer is probably Sideswipe.
For me, I'll go with DevCon.
Man, even I never heard of that guy. Or girl.
Guy. Moving along now. Natsuki. Well, I'll clearly never understand your meme ways. Guess I need to watch more SMG4. Anyway, since you're probably the one with the most experience with people pronouncing your name wrong, I gotta ask, is Rie's name pronounced Rai or Ree? Because I would like to know, since she's probably going to show up more in the future since she has a sprite from our perspectives now.
Oh, interesting you're asking me about this. It's actually neither of those. It's a two-syllable name. Ree. Ree? And then a sound that's kind of halfway between and A.
So, Rie? Rie?
Rie. It's the same sound as the I-E in Juliet.
Rie.
Like replace the J with an R and take away the T, and that's her name. A lot of people just shorten it to Rie, though, and she's used to that and answers to it just as well. Kinda like how some people call me Natsuki and call Sayori Sayori. Even though I'm really Natsuki and Sayori is Sayori. Oh, and Homicida is really Ida and not Ida. We don't really care, we're used to it. But if you want to be considerate, do the right pronunciation.
Yuri, you have increased the amount of respect I have for you by like a lot, seeing as you are able to appreciate the fine taste of black licorice. So what's having a little brother like? I'm the oldest sibling as well, but my sister is much closer to me in terms of age by just a few years, so we tend to get along pretty consistently.
Having a little brother has been wonderful. It is somewhat a new experience to me. I've lived most of my life as an only child. It's definitely interesting being the big sister who's so much older, while I'm like a third parent. Or fourth, given that my uncle lives with us as well. Shobu is a very lucky boy and gets a lot of love and attention. He's also very curious and is always trying to learn and ask questions. Even I cannot always give him full answers to everything he asks. But I love him very much, and I know he will do very well in life.
Miss Ida, gonna be honest, don't know why that email said Mrs., since I've referred to you as Miss in the past, but I apparently have not been consistent with that, so I'll do my best to be more consistent moving forward. Anyway, since it's chemistry you're interested in, I'll see if I can compile a playlist of videos where MatPat has made use of chemistry more than physics, if that is your preference. I believe one of the first videos on the food theory channel regarding cake technically relies on chemistry more than physics, but I guess the whole food topic would have that effect. Anyway, what's your opinion on the old Mentos and diet cola reaction? Don't know why, but sometimes I'll find myself watching videos on that kind of thing for hours if I'm not careful.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a Mrs.
Yet!
Oh, stop. Yes, food cares deeply about chemistry. Baking is really a subclass of food chemistry. And one which Natsuki really should learn more about since she's such a skilled baker.
I learn things when I decide to!
Of course, of course. It would be fairly inaccurate to call the Mentos and cola thing a reaction. It's not a chemical reaction. It's just that the carbon dioxide is constantly being liberated from the liquid. With a smooth surface, like the plastic inside of a soda bottle, it happens relatively slowly. But if you suddenly put the soda against a rougher surface, it'll happen faster and faster. And the surface of a mint is very rough. And carbon dioxide bubbles themselves also cause the production of more carbon dioxide. So when you put the mint in, bubbles come off. And as the mint sinks, it frees more bubbles, and bubbles rush up and hit the bubbles higher up in the bottle, and more bubbles get created. And so on, so forth. You get a runaway effect, and a bunch of gas forms shooting up into the air and taking liquid with it. But again, not really a chemical reaction, other than carbon dioxide coming off the water, which is happening anyway. And the mint doesn't really speed up that reaction in a chemical way. It's what we would call a catalyst. It just provides what you might call a physics catalyst. Hopefully that answers your question.
I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. Wow, that was a lot. As for my general question that I assume only MC and Natsuki can answer, have any of you played FNAF Security Breach? While the game might be, or still is, buggy, I think it brought a lot of new things to the table, so I recommend it for everyone to at least experience. Plus, it seems to be less scary as well, except for him. If you've played the game, you know who he is. Anyway, that should be all from me for now. Till next time, Ink. You know, I enjoyed watching Markiplier play through Security Breach, and I think it could have been a really great game. It's a shame it was as buggy as it was, but I still liked it for what it was.
Well, actually, I kinda have tuned out from FNAF, my dude. Like, you can only play the game so many times.
I mean, that's a little unfair. Things have been different in each sequel. But in the end, yeah, I tuned out of it too. I mean, it has cool lore and the gameplay is fun enough, but it is kinda samey after a while. Well, I mean, Security Breach really shook it up as far as the formula goes. Plus, like, the story's been told at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure Security Breach is fun, and I hope you have fun with it, but too many other games on my list right now. Thanks for the email, though, Ink. I hope you have fun again. Next, please.
Oh my, please. She's getting positively blunt.
Shut your fucking face!
There's the Natsuki I know.
Not the one I know. Hi guys, from the Philippines. Anyway, call me Emmy, in short for Emerald. So, question for Yuri. Did you know you held the wrong knife to kill yourself in the base game?
I do not know what you mean by this. Is there a right knife to kill yourself with? I don't know. It seems to do well enough.
I think they're referring to the fact that it's like a basic kitchen knife when it was supposed to be like one of her more intricate knives and it was just like an art error. But anyway. Question for Natsuki. Have you ever played mobile games before? If so, recommended mobile game?
Oh, sure. I play tons of mobile games, yeah. I try to stay away from the gacha games or games that want you to spend money. Mostly I play little puzzle games now. I play lots of Nonograms. There are tons of Nonogram-free apps. Try one of those, maybe.
Questions for Monica. Natsuki, Yuri, this might be personal, so you guys should be out of the room. So I did some research about these things in the original game. And the condition that, well, they don't actually have it. The teary-eyed blood is called hemoclaria. What that is like both Natsuki and Yuri had, if on real life. And Natsuki's one, well, you're lucky this is a VN, because she might die instantly. So reaction to those things? Anyway, sorry for bringing down the mood. Okay, if you and I are dating and the mood is right, would you take the kiss or steal it?
I'm not really sure what to say, but for the first bit, I'm not even really sure they were truly bleeding, like in a medical sense. Probably it was just a glitch. I'm not sure what you mean with the difference between taking and stealing a kiss. But I'll say taking, that sounds more forthright.
How about Sayori and MC? Steal this kiss or take it? Yeah, I'm not sure what the difference is, but I guess take?
Definitely take.
Question for Miss Ida. Aside from Monica that felt the black void, what is it like to be in it?
Oh, well, I get this one well enough. It's unsettling. I mean, imagine yourself in a dark place where you seem to be standing, but you can't tell what you're standing on. And there's nothing around you. You can hear nothing, and you can see nothing. But you have this awareness that something's going on, somewhere you can't see or hear. And you get the sense at first that you're being watched as part of some process you can't understand. But you still can't see or feel anything. That's what it's like at first anyway. Thanks for the question. I think we're done with this one. Next.
Hey!
You were late.
No bit thievery!
This one's a short one, and only for MC. MC, are you any good at singing? Oh man. No, not at all. I wish there were more to it than that, but yeah. Not good at singing. Next.
Not you too, MC.
I mean, you weren't saying anything.
I would have if the silence had lasted long enough.
Hello, Large Club. I'd like to ask which Persona games are your favorite. Yes, Monica is the best.
Persona, huh? only ones who've played any Persona games. And they're all pretty good, hard to pick a favorite. I think I'll go with 4 though. So many memorable characters, like Adachi, Sutron.
I concur entirely with Natsuki. 4 best.
Anyway, next, before someone steals my bit again!
Thank you for your love, emailer.
Next!
Hi everyone. This question is for Yuri. What are the hard limits of the things you can change about the world with the simulation code? Can you time travel to previous scenes? Can you completely change some laws of physics? And what are the soft limits of the things you would be okay with doing, Yuri? Clearly you wouldn't want to hurt anyone. But at what point do you use club president powers to perhaps defend yourself if you or your friend got attacked at night? And somewhat related, what is the most advanced thing you have coded yourself in your spare time? Either for practical reasons or for fun. It could be a question for everyone so they're not left out would be, what kind of fantastical thing would you code into existence if you could? And I guess Yuri could answer if she could do it for you right now. Anyway, have a nice day. Chakla, aka Charlotte.
Oh, this is an in-depth question. Some of these questions I can only give imperfect answers to, so I'll have Monica fill in where she can. It is hard to tell if there are hard limits to the things we can code. Our knowledge is very feeble to the task at hand.
Changing laws of physics would probably be possible, but it would be incredibly hard. There are just too many dependencies.
Yes, it would be a very involved and potentially dangerous project. Probably not worthwhile. Time traveling, no, not exactly time traveling. We can revisit and replay old scenes as though we were there. And we could probably even recreate those scenes and act in them as though we were our past selves.
But it wouldn't change anything in the present. It would just be a copied scene with no relation to our actual world. Still, it's an interesting thought.
I have not yet considered what my own personal limits would be in terms of using the power to hurt someone in self-defense. I suspect it would not be that different than using any other weapon.
Well, it's a little more dangerous since if you use a knife or a gun, you don't endanger all of reality.
Yes, that is true. Although hopefully you and I know enough not to endanger our simulation with such an application.
Probably yes. Let's see, the most advanced thing I've coded in my spare time is spinning upgrades to my house. Which you have also done now, right, Yuri?
Right. Although the trickiest thing for me was coding the player to be able to talk to me, even partially with a text input field.
Yeah, that was impressive. It's interesting that you found that more advanced than reconstructing physical objects.
That was hard. Once you learn to do it, it's not so bad.
True. The last bit is a fantastical thing we could come to existence. For me, it would be a portal to your world, of course.
I am not sure myself. Perhaps a mystical aquatic chimera that could take me both underwater and in the air.
Oh, like a legendary mount.
Yeah, something like that.
This is an easy one for me. I would get rid of Sayori's depression. Learn everything else about her just as it is. Or no, leave everything else. But I would keep that from causing her any more pain.
You're so sweet.
Not sure what I'd do. Maybe fix up the school a bit. Get some fancier lab equipment for my classroom. And some updated textbooks for every classroom.
Yeah, I have found some old textbooks back at the school.
Yes, it's shameful how old some of those books we still use are. Anyway, what about you, Sayori?
Cookies!
Of course, but you can get those anyway.
Yeah, but I can't, make them magically appear whenever I want. Wait, I'm not sure I can be entrusted with this power.
I'm sure you can use it responsibly. After all, you can hardly eat more cookies than you do now. I'd probably just be really boring and do a bunch of material stuff. My dad needs a new car, and I'd like a car myself, and a better house, and less boring staple food, and maybe some reasonable household appliances instead of broken ones. Oh, and Fuyuki still needs to pay for some medical stuff. It sucks being poor, what can I say? If I could just make myself and the people around me as comfortable as I could, although you know, using the weird club presidency thing to do that feels like cheating. I want to make that happen just through hard work and sheer force of will. And I will! Thanks for your questions, Charlotte. Always good to hear from you. Next!
Let me ask you a serious question now. Sayori, how would you feel if the roles were reversed in the original DDLC or in the new DDLC Plus, with there being a Monica, Natsuki, and Yuri routes, but not yours? So as to what would you do, Sayori? Natsuki, same, what would you do if there was a Monica, Sayori route, and Yuri route, but no route for you, Natsuki? Yuri, same thing, what would you do if there was a Monica, Natsuki, and Sayori route? MC, funny when the roles of the protagonist or the antagonist are reversed, right, MC?
Alright, same question here for Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri. What would you have done in my my position in the original game, basically. I feel like this one is actually kind of easy for me. It would not have been hard. I think I would have let the game play out. It would have felt natural for me not to overreact and for the game player to go after someone else.
Didn't Dan Salvato say that all of them would have done the same thing?
If the player was still MC, the guy I know who was my boyfriend, that would make it harder. But in the end, yeah, I think I would have just let everything happen.
Didn't you kind of freak out though in Act 4 when you were the president in the regular game?
Yeah, I did. But I think that's because I got all the information all at once and couldn't really cope with it. I think that if I had it the way Monica had gotten it, I would have just let the game pass me by, no problem. For what it's worth, I agree. You probably would have. Not that that's a good thing. What about you, Lutski?
Man, I don't know. I can't really say. I wasn't in that position, you know. I'd like to be able to say that I would have toughed it out and handled it like a boss, but I don't know. I freaked out pretty bad when I found out about things. And that was without me even having to deal with everything Monica dealt with. I could totally see myself flipping out at ruining the game or having a temper tantrum or something. I'm glad I'll never find out what I really have done.
As for me, I probably would have behaved strangely, but in a different way to Monica. I probably would have tried to test the limits of the reality I was in. It is possible I would have become focused on the player in the same way Monica did. I do have somewhat of an obsessive personality sometimes. But as with Natsuki, I do not really know for sure. It's one of those things that's impossible to tell without an actual trial.
So much for that question.